So something that I'm noticing and something that will continue to happen over the next year is you are going to see your favorite female influencers go further right. Not all of them, but a lot of them are going to go further right. We see this already happening. We see this with the trad wife views. We see this with the baddies rebranding as Christians. All of this is in the interest of their self-preservation at your cost. They're trying to protect themselves. They're trying to secure themselves and have safety and protection under a man or views that they know align with most men. It's unfortunate, and clearly they don't give a shit about you, their audience, their well-being. They're just in it for themselves. Look at these tunnels and be careful.
Now, obviously, this is no surprise to us, for Lord Destro has warned you about the split of the Church of Sisterly Bitterness. Yes, much like the Catholics and Protestants before them, we now witness two rival factions forming in response to the growing man shortage crisis and the passport bro migration. On one side, we'll see the devout disciples of I don't need a man culture suddenly experiencing a miraculous change of heart. Witness them change allegiances, some even claiming a newfound love for Christianity. Their goal, well, to appear as a freshly rehabilitated 304. Though let's be honest, can this even be done?
Seen this with Instagram influencers, other OnlyFans models. I've seen this with so many people where they'll do the most for attention, the most for clout, the most craziest cringeworthy stuff. You do need prayer after that. You're right, you do. But then conveniently after then got your little followers, you done got your little check, and all of a sudden you a born again Christian or you transformed into Christian.
On the other side, we have the Destiny's Child cater to you strategy. These women will embrace their inner Beyonce, serenading the nearest eligible bachelor with promises of devotion.
Dear new nigga, just let me tell you what else you gonna get when you dealing with me. You gonna get your haircut paid for, you gonna get dinner paid for, baby, you gonna get it all, okay? Because I treat mine right. One thing about me, if you accepted flowers, I will buy you some and give you some just because, baby, I'm a just because girl, okay? Let me treat you how you're supposed to be treated, my love.
Yes, I must admit, such talk is quite intriguing and makes the third leg of Lord Destro tinkle. But I promise you, it's all a facade. Let us not forget, the modern woman is a concentrated mix of Medusa and Caligula, a slave to vanity and addicted to hedonism. Think about that for a second. Such a persona cannot change overnight, or because of a TikTok trend or a new administration. We would be quite foolish to step our Cobra issue Nikes in this sticky trap. That's blasphemy. Prepare yourself, for these women will begin to float questions about are men the real prize. The so-called pick-me voice will be louder than ever. However, we will not know if they are the voices of John or Judas. These women will fight to once again earn the privilege of our gaze.
Women, would y'all agree that men hold the key to relationships and marriages?
Then we have the far left of these women, the deranged bitter sister who has come to terms with her fate as a single cat woman, possible single mother. She understands that she is not fit to be picked by any man with common sense or means. She can only be matched with the hood dude that still sells nickel bags of weed in 2025. She only deserves the pissy mattresses of the Trap House Motel and maybe a sip of some Colt 45 malt liquor. So she will attempt to make every woman just as sad and as lonely as she is. It will be her mission in life to impede any woman from progressing socially and finding a husband, leader, and father. For example.
I truly think we just operating out of pride and ego at this point. I really think that we just got to tell ourselves whatever to make ourselves feel better. Like, I was just on Threads and I just seen a tweet of this girl saying something about cooking and cleaning for a man makes me feel like a slave. One, what is y'all's obsession of wanting to be a slave so bad? Y'all stay comparing yourselves to being a slave. Nobody has lived through being a slave. And y'all keep comparing yourselves to being a slave. Like, that is just weird. But two, don't you have to cook and clean for yourself? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Like, I cook, right? Like, I like to cook. But, like, what about fixing an extra plate makes you feel like a slave? don't you have to clean for yourself? So why are you correlating that to making you feel like a slave? Like, why do y'all want to be slaves so bad? And then you say you want somebody to pay all the bills, but then you don't even want to make an extra plate. Like, that's just, y'all, I truly think, I think we just gotta, I don't.
But for this process to continue, men will have to show some discipline, and ignore these types of wildebeests. If we choose to go on dates, there have to be strict guidelines we go by, agreed upon by the sovereign patriarch. For example,
Who pays on the first date?
I prefer to not pay on the first day. I prefer to split. Typically articulate that to them. I'll tell them, hey, I don't want this to come off as my interest in you at all. But it's a gesture, and there's a lot of different, I think, other gestures that you can
What
do.
does it mean to you, that gesture of splitting?
To me, it's a expectation. Try to go into any relationship with as few expectations as possible. This societal norm of men paying on the first date, for me, it's an expectation. So it's not like an actual gift date where it's an actual gesture of like, hey, I'm interested in you, as opposed to this is what I need to do as a societal norm in order to access you as a human.
So on the second date, do you just offer to pay?
On the second date, I'll say, hey, I'd like to take you out to this place, where my language might be a little bit different on the first date. It might be like, I'm going to this place, I would love it if you joined. I don't typically ask. I typically just make invitations and then kind of state my, kind of what I would love for to happen, rather than saying, hey, do you want to go to this place? But on the second date, I would do that. I would be more intentional about the language I use and say, hey, I'd love to take you out on a date. That's like an investment. You know?
Don't you think the woman wants to feel you're investing in her if she's going to go on a second date?
Do you think that the man wants to feel that?
That he's investing in the relationship?
That she's investing in the relationship. Shouldn't it be?
But maybe a woman views it differently.
Well, that's the rub, right? Is like, why can't men feel that as well?
we must stop asking women to hold themselves accountable. This is like giving Lizzo the keys to your cookie shop. Yeah, I know we're not allowed to talk about Lizzo. We as a collective must hold our own standards. Like if you see an abandoned bag on a train, you must call out 304 activities. Make other men aware of a 304 dressed in fake Gucci clothing. Yes, I implore you to, no, I demand you to bring back shame to all its splendor. This is important and cannot be forgotten. For example,
let me tell you how I literally had to delete Lyft because my Lyft driver literally texted the person that ordered my Lyft and said, yeah, King, keep your head up. She's not the one. Yes, you heard it right. So y'all, I get in my Lyft or whatever. You know, sometimes they be like, oh, how you doing? How your day going? I'm like, oh, it's not going good. Mind y'all, it's about like 10 o'clock, 11, right? So a dude just ordered me an Uber because he wants me to come over, hang out, stuff like that. You get what I'm saying? I really don't want to go because I really don't like him. But I don't know how to express to him that I don't like him because he's so sweet. So the Uber driver is confiding to me. He's like, yeah, just talk to me. Let me know like what you don't like about him. See if I can help you out with the I'm thinking that we have a brother and sister moment going on. Nah. Me not knowing he's a short king as well. You get what I'm saying? The person I'm talking to is a short king. You're not really my type. You're not buff. You don't, no, I don't want it. So yeah, I'm sitting there talking to the Uber driver or whatever. You get what I'm saying? So while I'm texting him, I'm telling the Uber driver like, yeah, I just don't like him. I just don't see a future. He really likes me, stuff like this. I'm telling him what's going on. I'm explaining to him how I don't like him. He trying to give me solutions. Nothing's gonna work. A plus B is not going to go Y into Z. No. So yeah, at this point, we're getting close to our destination, right? So I'm texting bro, but bro's slowly texting me like, slow now. Like I'm telling him like, oh, okay, I'm finna be 5 minutes away. He's, oh, all right, let me know. Mind y'all, minutes before that, he was just saying, oh, I can't wait to see you. It's been so long. I missed you. Woo. Now, y'all, it's mad cold outside. Keep that in mind, okay? So now I'm pulling up, and the Uber driver just like, yeah. Well, I hope you have a good time, and I hope you at least let him know. He keeps saying that, like, oh, yeah, I hope you let him know. Give him signs at least. Don't waste his time. Y'all, why did I get outside the car? And I'm standing outside this man's house for 10 minutes, and he's telling me, nah, the Uber driver already let me know, game, so call your Uber back home. You didn't even have the decency to call me one back? So now I'm sitting here standing stupid. I'm like, what you talking about? I'm like, what I do? He like, yeah, the Uber driver already told me we good. You don't like me because I'm short, I'm this. I said, The Uber driver never answered me when I'm texting him, telling him I'm down the street after I done lied and said I was on Hoover and this and that. What? Yeah, you get a 0-star rating from me. Okay? Mr. King.
But wait a minute. You didn't smash the bell and press the like button. Blasphemy. And although you will never be worthy of a monarch such as myself, Lord Destro would suggest that you poor fools at least give oligarchy a try. So me, Lord Destro has spoken.